I know, I'm late. I felt really bad this morning, so I got up, drank coffee, and went right back to bed. All right, don't kill me. Here you go. You want to speak to the manager, Karen? Alrighty, it's probably nearly 2 in the afternoon. I'm just getting down here. I still feel like crap, in case you were wondering. I don't know what we're gonna do. Charlie's feeling the same way. Just this is just the weirdest illness we have ever had, and the longest it's ever taken to get over something. Hell, I got over surgery quicker than I'm getting over this COVID. I didn't really want to come down here today, but I always feel better when I do a little something, so that's what I'm gonna do. If nothing else, I'm gonna get these cleaned up and the pins cut and the wax paper off, and I'll show you what I got when I get them all cleaned up. This is what we look like before. On this one, the Purple Heart and the Turkish Walnut are spoken for. And the Hawaiian Curly Mango and the Cocobolo are not. I may have that wrong. He may have wanted the Cocobolo and not the Turkish Walnut. But I think these three are the ones that he wanted. So these two will be available. And while I was sitting here thinking, I was trying to think to myself, where did I get the Hawaiian Mango? And then I seen a little curve here. And the only person I buy wood from that puts that little curve there is Oleg Bashkovich in Tula, Russia. And then I was thinking to myself how humor can, I have friends, digital friends that I've only met digitally, but that have become good friends, people that I, enjoy texting and emailing and all that, all over the world. And one of them has a son that he was a single guy when I first met him. And then he met, he had a girlfriend, and then he married her, and then they had a kid, and now his kid is like 8 years old. I mean, I've been friends with him that long. And anyway, this friend of mine that I bought this Hawaiian Curly Mango from lives in Tula, and he put a new picture of himself up on his personal Facebook page. And I wrote, "Man, I can almost see a smile." And he wrote, "It's not a smile, it's a facial spasm we Russians get when people talk about capitalism," which is funny because he's a capitalist. He sells wood. And he sells wood all over the world. So clearly he's a capitalist. That's why it was so funny. And I thought to myself, you don't have to be a funny person for me to be friends with you, but you have to get humor, because humor to me is a huge part of my life. And I also think humor is a huge part of getting well. Like when you can laugh, you forget about how bad you feel. And I've even known people who were close to dying and on their way out and still had a sense of humor, could find things to, make a laugh about. And that's all. I'm just sitting here thinking about humor and how important humor is in a person's life. And I have met people who just completely lack the funny bone, the funny gene. And they don't get a joke. They couldn't tell a joke. When you're being extremely, ridiculously, hilariously sarcastic, they don't understand that you're being sarcastic. I've met people like this. And it's hard to believe that, you have to meet these people to understand that there's people that truly, truly do not get any kind of humor and don't appreciate humor. Anyway, humor is important to me. That was my point. And Oleg, that was just a memory I had of, I was actually in the doctor's office and they were pulling the stitches out of my stomach. And before the doctor come in, I was texting my friend Oleg, and we were talking about he's a young guy too. I think he's barely 30. And I was telling him about, me growing up in the era that I grew up in, what an amazing feat of, it's a miracle. The communication, the worldwide communication between two people from different countries, texting back and forth instantaneously within a half a second or a second of hitting send, on other sides of the planet, where, our governments right now were at each other's throat, but him and I were just regular frickin' people trying to live around the bullshit that your government does. And how, all over the world, I think people are typically the same. People like to laugh, people like to make things, and people like to provide for their family and have a comfortable home and eat nice food. We're all the same, and it's the governments that always get in the way of people getting along. And it's funny how I have another friend I'm friends with, also in Russia, and he's, if you did not know you were looking at a Russian Facebook page, he's a hunter. He got excited about getting these big mud grips for his pickup truck. I mean, a redneck, a hunter. I mean, my kind of people. Hillbilly. I mean, redneck, not the Confederate flag type of redneck. You know what I mean? Redneck, hillbilly, outback, woods, country, that kind of redneck that get along with everybody. Anyway, you wouldn't know you were talking to a guy in another country when you look at his Facebook page, because he's a duck hunter, and he's got dogs, and he was excited about his first outing going hunting, and then he showed pictures of these new mud grips he was putting on his pickup truck, and just a regular dude. And I just keep thinking about how if governments didn't exist, what a wonderful world this would be. All right, I'm gonna clean these up. And shut up, Brad, you talk too much. Okay, tomorrow I will shape handles, and I'm not gonna bite off more than I can chew. That might be all I do, is get these ready for their Kydex sheaths. So tomorrow is Saturday. I'm not gonna bite off more than chew. I'm gonna just say that I can get these handles ready tomorrow, and Sunday I will start making sheaths. And I may not do any of that, because a friend of mine, David, the guy that lives over here, bought a trailer, like a pull behind, I don't know, 16 foot long or something like that. And the wood needs to be replaced, and if he wants to do it this weekend, I'm gonna do that. And I may have to run over to Bossier and pick up my motorcycle, which is fine. So anyway, we'll play 1 minute at a time. Have a good Saturday, y'all.